15 Things You Didn't Know About Bill Clinton. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by Alux.com. Today, we're talking about the 42nd President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton, but you might know him better as Bill. Bill Clinton was born on August 19, 1946 in Hope, Arkansas. He developed an interest in politics early in his life and achieved political success much younger than many of his counterparts. Clinton became the Democratic governor of Arkansas in 1978 when he was just 32 years old, which made him the youngest governor in the country. Although he lost his re-election campaign in 1980, he was again elected governor of Arkansas in 1982 and held the office for the next 10 years. Clinton married future presidential candidate Hillary Rodham in 1975, and their daughter Chelsea was born in 1980. In 1992, Clinton defeated Republican incumbent George Bush, becoming the first Democratic president in 12 years. He was elected for a second term in 1996. In 1998, Clinton was impeached with the charges of perjury and obstruction of justice related to false testimony he gave about the affair he had with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. This testimony occurred during a sexual harassment lawsuit filed against him by Paula Jones. Clinton was acquitted of the charges by the Senate in 1999. Despite the scandals that occurred while he was the president, Clinton left office with an approval rating of 68%, which is the highest end-of-office approval rating of any U.S. president since World War II. Okay, enough with the background. Let's get to the 15 things you didn't know about Bill Clinton. Number 1. He never met his real father. Bill was named after his father, William Jefferson Blythe, but he never actually met him. Sadly, his father died in a car wreck 3 months before Bill was born. Bill kept his father's last name until the age of 15 when he took on his stepfather's last name of Clinton. Number 2. He is vegan. Bill had a health scare in 2010 when he underwent emergency heart surgery. He made some changes in his life as a result, including adopting a vegan diet. Although he often claims to be vegan, he does admit that he eats fish once in a while and occasionally strays from the strict diet. But he says he might not be around today if he had not become vegan. Number 3. His 1967 Mustang is one of his all-time favorite possessions. It's widely known that U.S. presidents are not allowed to drive themselves around, and this was one of the most difficult adjustments for Bill. He has said that the hardest thing to leave behind when moving to the White House was his ice blue 1967 Mustang convertible. The car was purchased by his stepfather in 1972 and eventually became Bill's prized possession. The car is now on display at the Museum of Automobiles in Morrilton, Arkansas. Number 4. He pardoned his stepbrother's crime. As president, Bill was given the power to pardon people of their crimes, wiping offenses away as if they never happened. Other presidents have used this power, sometimes controversially. President Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon for his role in Watergate. Andrew Johnson pardoned thousands of former Confederate officials after the Civil War. President Obama pardoned Chelsea Manning, who leaked thousands of classified documents to WikiLeaks. Clinton pardoned a total of 450 people in his time in office, but 140 of these were pardoned on his last day in office, in what became known as Pardongate. Among those pardoned on his last day was his stepbrother Roger Clinton. Roger had already served his entire sentence for cocaine possession, but the pardon wiped the crime from his record. Number 5. Bill is known to smoke the most expensive cigars in the world. Gurkha is known as the Rolls-Royce of cigars. Their finest cigars sell for over $1,000 a piece, and a box of cigars could cost up to $30,000. Bill Clinton is one of Gurkha's famous clients, along with Matthew McConaughey. They only make about 20,000 boxes of their finest cigars every year, and there's a 3-year waiting list. But you can be sure Bill doesn't have to wait that long. Number 6. He has 2 Grammy Awards. Bill Clinton actually has more Grammy Awards than Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Guns N' Roses, Queen, Diana Ross, Bob Marley, Janis Joplin, and Katy Perry combined. While none of the previously mentioned artists has ever received a Grammy, Clinton has been awarded 2. In 2004, he received the Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album for Children for narrating the Russian National Orchestra's album called Wolf Tracks and Peter and the Wolf. And the following year, he was honored again with the Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album for reading his autobiography called My Life. Number 7. Bill met John F. Kennedy when he was 16 years old. In July of 1963, when Bill was 16 years old, He had the chance to take a trip to Washington, D.C. as a delegate in the American Legion Civics program called Boys Nation, and he jumped at the opportunity. As a part of the trip, the group visited the White House Rose Garden, where Bill remembers elbowing his way to the front of the crowd so that he could meet President John F. Kennedy. The two shook hands, and a picture was captured of the moment. Bill says that handshake was what inspired him to lead a life of public service. Just 4 months after their encounter, JFK was assassinated. Number 8. He only applied to one college. Bill was an excellent student in high school, but even the best students usually applied to at least one safety school. This was not the case for Bill. He was drawn to Washington, D.C., so he decided to apply to the prestigious Georgetown University, and fortunately he was accepted. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service in 1968, and earned a coveted Rhodes Scholarship to Oxford University, where he attended 1 year before returning to the United States to get his law degree from Yale. Number 9. He became friends with Steven Spielberg while in college. When Bill was studying law at Yale University, he volunteered to help with George McGovern's presidential campaign in 1972, along with his girlfriend Hillary. He met another young volunteer, Steven Spielberg, and the two became friends. They've been close ever since. Number 10. He eats apples whole. Bill loves eating apples, but he doesn't eat them the way most people do. He eats every part of the apple, including the stem, core, and seeds. If you have more refined tastes when it comes to fruit, click on the top right-hand corner to watch our video about the top 10 most expensive fruits in the world. Number 11. He was the first president to send an email in the White House. Email was actually invented in 1972, but did not come into wide use until the early 1990s. On November 7, 1998, Bill Clinton was the first president to send an email in the White House. But he didn't send it to anyone on Earth. The noteworthy email was actually sent in response to an email received by astronaut John Glenn, who was on the space shuttle in orbit at the time. Clinton claims to have only sent a total of 2 emails while he was president. The other was to troops in the Adriatic. Number 12. His White House code name was Eagle. You're probably aware that the United States Secret Service assigns code names to U.S. presidents, first ladies, and other prominent figures. The Secret Service typically gives all members of the presidential family code names that begin with the same letter. Bill's code name was Eagle, Hillary's was Evergreen, and Chelsea's was Energy. President Obama's code name was Renegade, while Michelle's was Renaissance. Donald Trump's code name is Mogul, and Melania's is Muse. Number 13. He was allergic to his White House pet. Socks the cat was one of the most popular White House pets in history. The cat was actually a stray that jumped into the arms of Chelsea as she was leaving the home of her piano teacher when Bill was the governor of Arkansas. The cat became the family pet and moved with them to the White House, despite the fact that Bill is allergic to cat dander. Bill is also allergic to chocolate and flour. Number 14. Hillary rejected his first 2 marriage proposals. Bill and Hillary met in 1970 at Yale University. After Hillary saw Bill eyeing her up in the library, she introduced herself and the two soon started dating. When Hillary graduated from law school, Bill took her on a trip to Europe and proposed to her at a lake near London. However, she rejected his proposal, saying, "No, not now." This did not seem to deter Bill as he proposed again a year later, but the answer was still no. Sometime later, Bill was taking Hillary to the airport when they passed by a red brick house for sale, and Hillary remarked that it was cute. When he picked her up from the airport after returning from her trip, he told her he had bought a house and that she should marry him because he didn't want to live there alone. This time, she said yes. Number 15. Bill and Hillary got married in their living room. On October 11, 1975, Bill and Hillary were married in the living room of their house that Bill bought in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Bill was 29 and Hillary was 27. Only 15 of their closest friends and family attended the private ceremony. They then had a reception with a few hundred guests in their backyard. Now that you've learned some interesting facts about Bill Clinton, do you think he'll be remembered more for his scandals or for his achievements? Let us know in the comments. And here's a bonus fact for those dedicated watchers who are still with us. In the 1970s, Bill owned an El Camino he described as the real Southern deal, and he installed AstroTurf in the truck bed. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.